Hello darklings, my name is Sanniz and it's time for a new collab, but first, the intro. Hello darklings, my name is Sanniz and I'm from Sweden and it's time for a new collab, and this time is with an old friend of mine that I've done collabs with before, and it's Catlady Antigoni, and she's a very nice YouTuber. She's on Instagram and TikTok and different other type of platforms, and she's amazing. She's creative, especially when it comes to makeup. She do reviews, she do hauls, she do tutorials, she do body makeup, she do a lot of different things, even vlogs and that type of thing. So you never know with her channel. You can see everything, even if it's mainly focused on makeup and on indie brands and vegan brands. She started to go over to more and more because she wants to keep it that way. And you can hear on her name, she's a cat lady too. She got 2 cats, if I'm not wrong about it. And she sometimes posts something about them too, so you can see them. And she actually from Greece. She came from Greece to Sweden to study, and here she met her boyfriend, and they're now living together and everything. And like I said, she is the sweetest person, always giving big smiles and that type of thing, very energetic and that type of things. And I think you should go and watch her. She do a lot of different things from goth, but she loves colors too, so she usually put in pastels and other type of things and mix it with a goth, but she can go very dark too. And what's this collab about is actually an idea I had in my mind for a while, and especially when I know that Antigoni is from Greece. She is Greek, but she's from Greece. Sorry. Sometimes I get a little confused in my brain because I'm blonde. But my thought was, because I like things that is not real for some people, maybe real for others, and all the type of other little strange stuff, so I thought, why don't we do something from the Greek mythology? And she thought it was a good idea, so we decided that we should create something, but we don't go for the same one. And what she's gonna do, you have to go over to her video and take a look at. I know which one she's gonna make, but I don't know anything about the look, and I'm not sure if she's gonna do a more precise type of look or an inspired. Mine gonna be inspired, of course, because I can't be all way out. And even if that's when I record this, I still can't wear exactly everything I want, so I need to keep that in mind too, so I don't destroy anything after my surgery, because I recorded this list little more than 1 week before I put this up. But I thought, what should I do? And of course, my mind fell on Medusa. And I'm gonna give you a little fast thing whilst I do my makeup. So I'm not gonna speed it up, so this can be a very long video. But I'm not gonna show exact everything I'm gonna do. I'll show mainly maybe the eye makeup and that type of things, not maybe details with the false eyelashes and that. Sorry, I can't put on any contacts lenses because I'm not allowed, because I have an eye condition that if I do that I can go blind. So if you have never shaped up your eyes, do that before you use any type of contacts. I should recommend that very strongly, because you never know if you have something going on with your eyes, and it only have to take one time, and then you maybe destroy your side, and that's not good. But not go over all that negative things. So my thought was I'm gonna show a big part of the face makeup itself, but I'm not gonna show the ready result before I'm ready. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this ride. So it's not gonna be any music, and it's gonna be me babbling about Medusa and maybe little other things at times. So the only thing I have done is moisturize my face. So of course I want to go a little bit more pale. So first we started. I can't hardly see the name anymore. That's things happen sometimes with things when you use them. So should we take the story about Medusa a little shortly? There is different versions, and you can always Google on them too, because my version gonna be like a fast version, not a complete version. So don't be angry if some details is wrong or if I pronounce anything wrong, because I'm not from Greece and I can't talk that language. And I know things in Swedish, but I know also in English they have another type of mention about the name too. But we go into the short version that I'm gonna do for you. And yeah, wait a minute. I had to check my phone because Trevor was sending me a message, so it could be important, so you don't be angry because I don't look. So the story I'm gonna take is the shorter version. They say it's at least 2 different ones if you go to the original ones. One that is a bit older and one that is younger. And I thought we should go on the younger one, because in that one Medusa actually started as a human, and she was a very beautiful person too, and a very pleasant person too, that wanted to do everything right. She didn't care about men directly, she just wanted to do everything the best, and her favorite goddess was Athena. So she wanted to be a servant for Athena and do the best for her. I'm not sure servant is the best word for it, but that's the word I'm gonna use at least. So if you don't like it, you can find a more appreciate what you call them, because I'm not that good in terms. But she wanted to be someone that had to do with Athena and be in her temple, like a loyal for her, show her loyalty and everything. That was her biggest thing, because Athena was the goddess she really looked up for. But the thing is that goddesses can be jealous, even on earthlings too. So Medusa's biggest problem was that she actually was so beautiful, so she could actually compete with Athena and some others. Everyone knows that it's not Athena that was the most beautiful one, because you have another goddess that was the most beautiful of them all, but I'm not gonna mention her name in this story because it don't have to do with her. You can also always Google all those things yourself. But to make it a little short from that bit, I just wanted to add so you know what's going on in the story. So Medusa started her way and grew up before she now was old enough to enter Athena's temple, and so she did. And it was like a dream come true for her, because she always wanted to be a part of Athena and serve her in her humble way. And we have to remember back then that the Greek society, whatever you should say, was mainly a patriarchal thing too, so it's gonna explain a little more later too. So everything went very well, and Medusa enjoyed her time in the temple, but suddenly a dark shadow was falling over her. And she started to be full a little bit of scared and that type of things, because she knew that it was a male, and she was not directly into man. And then she heard this voice coming out, and it was a very commanding, strong, dark voice. And she knew immediately who it was when she heard the voice. It was Poseidon. And gods are like they are. If you have read the mythology, you know that especially the male gods take what they want. See if I get enough, because it's hard to see when I'm standing a bit away from a mirror when I don't see that well. So they don't bother directly to ask. If they see something they like, especially women, and you are a very beautiful woman too, like Medusa is in this case, they're gonna take what they want. And to go backward to the story behind Poseidon too, you already know what he was god over. So the thing is, this is Athena's temple, and Athena is like a niece to him. But he didn't bother that it was Athena's temple in this case. When he saw this beautiful girl in front of him, the only thing he got in mind, I must have her, no matter what. I don't care. Of course, Medusa didn't want to have him, because she just wanted to serve Athena. And remember, we are now in Athena's temple. We are not outside anywhere else. But we're gonna go into this thing about Poseidon and Athena. There was some complication when it comes to who gonna be the protector over the city Athens. And they were competing, Athena and Poseidon were competing who gonna be chosen by the people to be the protector. I don't remember what Poseidon offered, if it was some saltwater spring well or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. It was something to do with salt. And Athena, she offered olive tree. I'm not sure how to pronounce that right, but you probably know what I'm talking about anyway. And it ended up that the people actually chose the tree, because they thought that was a much better idea than getting salt. Of course it's better because you can use olives for other things. So Poseidon was a bit angry, but because there's some type of rules between the gods, so they can't punish each other. So they have this anger and furious growing, but they can't punish directly each other. So not just that he was looking at Medusa in this time in the temple, he already didn't be that harmony relationship with his niece Athena. So he decided that the worst thing he could do when he lost this over the city Athens, that at least he could take Medusa in the temple then. And that's not a good idea, because you know Athena. And you also know the rules. They can't punish each other. And maybe a very stupid thing, but that's the thing how it works. I'm gonna find which one I'm gonna start with here, because it's a little hard to tell. I'm gonna take a brush. Take this one. And I think we go into this little light yellowish greenish type of thing. And do it like a transfer. Yeah, so he decided that the best thing he could do in his way to punish his loss over Athens was actually to rape Medusa inside Athena's temple. And you should thought that a female goddess should care more about the victim in this case, but because this unwritten rule between the gods that you can't directly punish another god when they've done something. Plus, it can be also said that she might have been a bit jealous at Medusa, because Medusa was really beautiful. Even more beautiful than Athena, some people thought. So, it could be that, yeah, she's a bit bitter of that case too, that the human actually are more beautiful than her, because she is little like that. She wants to be the best, even if there's still a goddess that is more better than the most others. So she decided to actually punish Medusa instead. And you could thought, this is not fair, is it? No, it's not directly fair, but this is the way gods operate sometimes. So what did happen? I think we don't take that one. We go into this one, and I choose the green. So, of course, she chose, I'm gonna punish Medusa instead. So she turned Medusa into a monster. So terrible to look at. So she turned her golden hair. She had very long hair and golden, and she turned everything to a sea of snakes, you can call it. And her eyes was yellow. And the thing was, you could not look into her eyes, because then you're gonna be like a statue after it. Her eyes freeze you to one. And she was the most terrible. And Medusa didn't know what's going on. So she just realized that something happened, and felt something was moving above. So she took up her hand, but fast took it down when she realized it was a snake. And then when she also realized, sorry, I'm gonna let it dry in my throat when I'm talking this much. So she was very angry. She went very angry, because here, not just that she just been raped. Now the goddess she really looked up to, wanted to serve with all her heart and soul, now did this for her, when it's not her fault what's happened. So Athena took out her frustration on Medusa instead, even if Medusa was the victim in this case. And we all could think still it's very wrong, but that's the way it went. And now we need another brush. What we're gonna take? Should we try this one? And we go for a darky green. So I'm gonna go back to this one. So she went very angry, and at the same time we had two sisters that was real monsters, and they were born that way and looked terrible, but they were very similar looking to Medusa, even if they were not beautiful, because she was still beautiful even if she was Medusa. So their hair, they had ordinary hair but mixed with snakes. So it was not like in Medusa's case that it actually was only snakes. But because now Medusa was so angry and everything and disappointed, so she joined those two sisters, so they went to be there. And I know the Swedish word for it is gorgoner, so I think it's something like gorgons. So, and sorry, I'm not correct all the way out with all information, but you can Google what their real name is, because sometimes it's hard for me to remember all the exactly mention about them. So yeah, so she thought that he's gonna go there, and they were known for want to destroy things and kill people and that type of thing. So now we're gonna go back to another bit of the story before we continue with Medusa. So then we're gonna meet Perseus. And Perseus' father was Zeus. And I don't remember the mother's name. I think it's Nadine or something like that. I'm not sure. I can put it down when I find the names for it, because right now I know the name, and it was close to Anne, not something. I think it was with N or something like that, but I don't remember her name. I'm gonna pick up something, so wait a little. We need this one too. So Perseus' mother was a beautiful woman too, and she had Perseus with Zeus. And things happen through their life when he grew up with his mother, and they had to try to get away. And I think they were on something when everything went wrong, and they ended up on this place and be saved by a certain king. I don't remember the king's name, but it was a king in Greece. So his eyes immediately fell on Perseus' mom, and he wanted to marry her. But Perseus' mom was not interested, because she didn't like him, sadly. Because maybe else the story had gone another direction. I don't know. But go back to this one and take the black. Almost put it in the wrong color. So he wanted to marry her, but she was not interested, because she didn't like him at all in that type of way, even if he was the saver. And she was not interested to get married with him either. And I guess if you had a kid together with Zeus, maybe this type of king was not what you want. That's just my thought, because maybe you're a little picky with the random guys that be attracted by you. So she was not that happy, and Perseus found out that this king tried to force his mom into a marriage that she didn't want. So he tried to convince this king that if I get you a very nice wedding gift, you can pick whatever you want and I bring it to you, as long as you don't marry my mom. And the king said that okay, but he didn't ask for any normal gift you could thought of. No, you can take a wild guess now where it's going. He wanted the head of Medusa. And during those years, it was like a death sentence or something for the people that had been sending away for this thing, because no one had returned back. Everybody that tried to go after Medusa died. So, but Perseus said, okay, I can do it. So if you don't marry my mom, you're gonna get it. So he disappeared. He got a lot of help from different gods and goddesses and that type of things with stuff he needed, even the shield and the flying shoes, with the shoes with the wings. I don't remember which god it was. And he also been told how Medusa looked, because when he meet those three, he need to know which one is Medusa. So Perseus was a bit naive in that case, because he believed that the king actually should keep his words. But it showed up that the king didn't have anything about that in his plans. And now when Perseus was not that away, and he thought he'd never gonna come back either, because no one else have returned back. So now we can plan the wedding. And Perseus had got those flying shoes, and as you know, he got this shield, because you can't directly look at a Medusa, because then you turn to stone when you meet her eyes. But he got this shield and was told that you can still watch her now if you watch through the shield to see her reflection in it, because then you know where she is and everything. And he also got a sack that he should put the head in safely. And yeah, he did. So he started his travel to get to where he could find Athena and the two other ones. And when he reached this place, it was actually not that hard to know in what direction to search for her, because you're closer to the place where she was, more status of people that have tried to get her in the same type of mission. So he could see easily where they have been. And let's see where into it. So he came closer and closer, and finally he realized that she was in front of him. And of course, now he'd been on his edge, whatever you should call it. So he knew that he needed to stand ready and do his best to avoid contact with the eyes. He came closer, and Athena, of course, tried her best to get him to watch her, but he'd been already warned, so he didn't put his eyes direct on her. Instead, he used the shield, and because he used the shield, he could safely cut off her head, and he got it down in the bag. And now when Medusa as a person was dead, the other things you're gonna find out a little more thing about that is interesting when it comes to Medusa. So he put this head in the sack, whilst the snakes on the head is still crawling and making the sounds that could scare anyone. So he returned back, but he returned back to realize that the king had other plans. And the king's servants, when they saw Perseus come, they didn't stop him. They just glide apart, because no one had ever returned from that type of mission. It was a suicide mission, completely. I think we need to do some eyebrows first before we continue. So they didn't stop him. And first, this king that now made himself ready to actually marry Perseus' mom. saw him coming, and he was, what the heck is going on here? He shouldn't be here, because no one have returned, and he still wanted to marry the mom, and he was never about letting the mom don't have to do that. So he was little, oh no, here he comes. And he was frustrated because now he's got something in the way. And Perseus, of course, angry when he realized that this king didn't want to keep his eyes on his words. I mean, keep his eyes, what I'm talking about. So he was furious now when he realized that he was tricked into something. And of course, Perseus didn't want to accept this fact, because Perseus himself thought that, no, this is my mom and you're not doing this. So he get all the way to the king, and before the king knew it, he took up Medusa's head from this bag. But I'm not going to tell the story, because it's something more that happened before he returned. Because when he cut off the head was still alive. Medusa, as a person, Medusa is dead, but the head was still alive. And for female monsters, the biggest duty of life, whatever you call it, is to actually give birth to new monsters. And it started to sound a little strange from the bag, and on the way she actually gave birth to 2 new monsters. I don't remember the name on the first one, because it was like a flying pig, you know. But I can put it up if I find it. And the other one was Pegasus. So she actually created life before too. And now they are in a situation, and I need to continue as we're not gonna be ready. Ha ha ha. So I think we go to this sheepy type of things, and I'm gonna use the green shimmery type of thing in this one. And he took up Medusa's head that's still alive, and the snake was moving and the eyes were still there, and she held up that in the front of the king, and the king did a mistake looking into the eyes, and you know what happens in that case. So before he even knew it, he heard a cracking sound from his body when he slowly turned into a statue. And after that, you can say, in some sort of way, even if Medusa was the victim of everything, so she at least in some strange way, you could say, she got her revenge, and she actually could help another woman that was forced of a man to be under. Because we have to remember, back then in Greece, it was a patriarch, and they didn't like women that tried to stand up on their own, because a woman should always be under a woman. I need to take off my hands a little. So like I said, they didn't really like when a woman tried to take a place over, because the woman should always be under the male, no matter if it's your father, your brother, or whatever. If a man told the woman something, she was not worthy to have her own will. She should just follow the man. And in this way it was like Medusa got her revenge, even if she had raped and never got justified for that bit. So at least she got that part back in some crazy way. So that was a little bit the story about Medusa. And if you want to know more about it, of course you have to Google her yourself. Of course, I forgot to say I'm gonna take the gold shimmer too here. And put a little more in this inner type of thing. And of course this video gonna be terrible long, so I'm not gonna tell so much more. And when I'm back I have done the rest of my look, because this is just the eyes. I'm not hardly even ready with the eyes yet. I still need mascara and eyelashes and that type of thing. But I think the most people that watch those videos already know how to do that bit anyway, so I will return back later when I finish this look, but this is how it looks so far. So, see you soon. So this Darklings is a finished look. My Medusa. And I hope you like it. And don't forget to go and check what Catlady Antigoni did too. And if you like this video and new, please subscribe. I do a lot of different things, and at the same time press the notification bell, give me likes, else we bite you, and comment. We love comments. And please, Darklings, stay safe, stay weird, and be nice to each other. Thanks for watching. Bye.